Good evening, dear students. As I told you that we would take up the lesson Deep Water by William Douglas. Before we start the lesson, we would know who is the writer. Douglas was born in Maine, Minnesota, USA. He studied English and economics and he taught at high school in Yakima for 2 years. Later he was tired of teaching, then he pursued a legal career and he met Franklin D. Roosevelt at Yale and became an advisor and friend to the President Roosevelt. He also became the longest serving justice in the history of the Court of America. He served as the Chief Justice for 36 long years. This chapter is an extract from his own work of Man and Mountain. Actually, this Man and Mountain written by him is an autobiography, and this chapter that you have in your syllabus is a narrative essay. Now we would come to know what the lesson is about. Actually, it is about a young boy who nearly drowned and died. It also tells us how he reacted and what happened next. Before we start the chapter, just ask, are we all comfortable diving into deep water? The answer would be no. Then we should also try to know the reasons. The possible reasons might be that we do not know swimming, that we are afraid of going into deep water. So, before we start the chapter, as I told you, the chapter is about hydrophobia. We should also be able to differentiate and distinguish between fear and phobia. We all experience fear. Is it a phobia or is it different from phobia? Let's see. First quality, fear is common and it is felt by everyone, but phobia is a form of anxiety disorder characterized by excessive and persistent fear of objects and situations which may not carry real threats. Secondly, fear can be felt by anyone when faced with an unknown or dangerous situation. For example, now we all are faced with an invisible enemy called Corona, and all of us are afraid. So we are confronted with unknown and dangerous situation. That's why we are experiencing fear. But if the fear causes irrational fear that consumes most of your time, energy and time, then it becomes phobia. Thirdly, fear is characterized by nervousness, anxiety, discomfort and distress. Whereas phobia can cause tachycardia, shortness of breath, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea or even panic attack. Fourthly, fear does not need medical intervention, as it is said earlier that it is common and felt by everyone, so we need no medical help. But if we are suffering from phobia, In order to cure that anxiety disorder, we need medical help. Finally, fear cannot be overcome by medical treatment as it is normal, but phobia can be treated with cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, we can correlate fear and phobia with certain situations in life. A typical fear is when we are anxious during a flight and feel minor turbulence. But phobia is when we forego a company overseas trip because you are too afraid to fly. Secondly, fear is experiencing slight vertigo or your head feels spinning around when you peer down from a cliff. But phobia is when you give up or turn down an offer for an ideal job because your office is located at 15th floor. Thirdly, feeling queasy when you see your blood being drawn during a blood donation. So you feel slight uneasy. It is quite normal, but if you avoid all important medical appointments just because you are terrified of needles, then it might be a form of phobia. Now let us come to the lesson. Douglas tells us that this phobia started when he had a bad experience when he went with his father to California beach when he was only 3 or 4. Actually, he was overcome by a powerful wave and he was buried deep in water, but his father was holding his hand and his father was smiling when the wave went away. But Douglas was afraid. So there were seeds of phobia sown into the mind of Douglas when he was only 3 or 4. Next, it happened when he was 10 or 11 years old. The line on the top tells that it is being taken from your text. So he tells that he was around 10 years old. He tried swimming in YMCA pool. We are also told that rather than choosing Yakima River, he chose YMCA pool, and he gives reason for that because it was only 3 feet deep at shallow end and 9 feet deep at the deep end, and there were people around. Author tells about his old memories of learning swimming with his father. He was frightened and lost his breath. His introduction to YMCA revived old unpleasant memories. He tried to learn by watching other boys. Now, so we can see that he was 10 or 11-year-old and he decided to swim. He went there. He was waiting for others to come. Just then, a big bruiser of a boy came and threw him into the deep end of the pool. The author describes in detail. One day he went alone to the pool. A muscular boy of 18 came to him and tossed the author into the deep end of the pool. He was frightened and planned to hit the bottom and jump out of the water. He came out slowly and saw nothing but water. His mouth was under water, therefore no sound came outside the pool. He tried to bring his legs up, but he felt his legs paralyzed and rigid. He was sinking to the bottom again. He lost all his breath. His lungs were paining. His head was throbbing. He was getting dizzy. but he remembered the strategy that he made in the beginning, that he would spring from the bottom of the pool and come like a cork to the surface. And then he would lie flat on water, strike out with his arms and thresh with his legs. Then he would get to the edge of the pool and be safe. But he tried for the first time. He went to the bottom. The terror seized him. He was paralyzed underwater. His heart and pounding in his head told him that he was still alive. He tried to jump, but it made no difference. He was still surrounded by water. This time, all efforts and fear ceased. See, it is a psychological phenomena that has been described so well by the author that fear is only when we struggle against it. And if we give up all our struggles, if we give up all our effort, fear ceases to be. And he was moving towards a peaceful death because he had given up all the struggle, and he had accepted his death. Now, during his description of fear, he has told about his emotional reaction to the misadventure. He was completely frightened. He was out of breath. Though he was out of breath but was not out of mind. That's why he planned to jump up. He was panicked. He tried to come for the first time, but he went down again, and he was suffocated, terrorized, and he was choked. His limbs hung like dead weights, and all he knew was sheer, stark, dark terror. Then, when he had tried for 3 times and he could not come up on water, he accepted his approaching death, and he says that he crossed to oblivion. Oblivion means complete forgetfulness. And writer describes this feeling. He was in peace. When he came to consciousness, he found himself lying on the side of the pool with the other boys nearby. The terror that he had experienced in the pool never left him. It spoiled many of his expeditions of canoeing, swimming, and fishing. All his friends used to enjoy all these water related activities, but Douglas could never enjoy all these water related games. So he felt that he was psychologically handicapped. Whenever he was near water, the terror returned. Henceforward, the writer decided that he would terrorize the terror itself, that he would make the terror afraid of him. So he took the courage, and fear vanquished, fear vanished. The experience of the writer threw some light on certain aspects of life as well. Now, how did he overcome his fear? He hired an instructor, and the instructor built the swimmer in pieces. First, he was made to swim using a pulley and rope around his back. Later, he was trained how to move arms and legs in water. By and by, his limbs relaxed, and he was able to command his body in water. And he used every way to overcome. And Experience of pain and pleasure in childhood remain in the subconscious mind, and we keep feeling those emotions later in our life as well. The fear of water acted on the writer in that way, even that being expert in swimming, the writer felt terror. So it is about 5 months later that the instructor told him that he had learned swimming, but whenever he tried to swim all alone, fear would return. A writer would feel terror again and again. There was no reason at all. So he took the courage. He tried swimming in different kind of water bodies, and that experience which is described by Douglas shows that most of our fears are baseless. Actually, fear creates dangers where there is none. The writer's experiences further confirm the proverbial truth: where there is a will, there is a way. So, in order to ascertain whether he has really overcome his fear or not, he swam across lakes, conquered the terror. Now, in the end, the author declares, like Roosevelt, that all we have to fear is fear itself. We should not let any fear overcome us. Rather, we should try to overcome all our fear, because beyond fear there is success. Now, some questions. Which two incidents in Douglas' early life made him scared of water? Second, why did Douglas prefer to go to YMCA swimming pool to learn swimming? Third, what did Douglas feel and do when he was pushed into the swimming pool? How did his swimming instructor build a swimmer out of Douglas? How did Douglas make sure that he conquered the old terror? Sixth, what efforts did Douglas make to get over his fear of water? 7. Why was Douglas determined to get over his fear of water? It's important that he was successful otherwise, though he was hydrophobic. Why did he determine to get over his fear of water? 8. What did Douglas experience when he went down to the bottom of the pool for the first time? When Douglas realized that he was sinking, how did he plan to save himself? Then, what sort of terror seized Douglas as he went down the water with a yellow glow? 11. How could he feel that he was still alive? Before we end, just ask yourself and ponder deep. How could Douglas overcome his phobia? You are to tell yourself what were those qualities in Douglas' personality that help him overcome his excessive fear of water. There are obstacles which do not allow you to achieve your full potential. We all have an aim. We all want to be successful in our life. But there are certain obstacles which are embedded in our own personalities which do not allow us to achieve our full potential. We are just to find out those enemies, just those obstacles within our personalities, and we are to tell them that we are no longer afraid of them. It might be procrastination, It might be fear of failure. It might be fear of working hard. Just be determined like Douglas and achieve success. Lastly, what must you tell yourself? Are you to be what you are presently, or are you born to achieve greatness? If so, then start your journey like Douglas. Thank you for watching. Stay home, stay safe, and keep reading.